They watch you constantly. But not because you're loud, not because you're reckless, not because you crave attention. They watch you because you move different, because your very existence shakes the grid. You walk in a room and the air shifts. You speak and falsehoods start to tremble. You're not shouting to be seen. You're just being who you are, and it's seen anyway. They don't watch everyone. They watch those who can see through everybody. Because you don't just hear what people say. You feel what they meant. You notice what they didn't say. You track the shift in breath before a lie leaves the lips. You see beyond costumes, beyond programming, beyond pretense. And that's a problem for a world built on illusion. You ever notice how they always circle back? How people you've outgrown try to re-enter your orbit. How strangers echo your language before you've even spoken it publicly. It's not coincidence. It's proximity to source code. You carry an ancient imprint that hasn't been seen in generations, and they keep trying to replicate it without ever understanding the soul it was forged through. They can mimic your rhythm, your voice, your movements, but not your intention. And intention is what shapes the timelines. It's what bends the algorithm. It's what sets you apart. You think they don't know who you are? You think they can't feel that static in the field when you remember yourself? Every time your back straightens with truth. Every time you don't flinch when gaslit. Every time you stare directly at the distortion with no fear. The system shakes. Not because you're trying to break it, but because you were never bound by it in the first place. You disrupt the script simply by walking in alignment. You don't just read the energy, you disturb it, you recode it. That's why they've been watching since you were young. Before you even knew who you were. They knew the potential. You ever wonder why certain teachers were nervous around you? Why family members got triggered when you asked too many questions? Why fake friends either tried to copy you, silence you, or destroy you? Because they sensed what was waking up inside you. And what wakes in a seer can't be put back to sleep. They watch you because they know something's different. Your energy doesn't fold. Your intuition doesn't miss. Your silence doesn't mean absence. It means observation. And when someone who can see starts watching them back, the system panics. Let's be clear. You don't even need to fight. Your stillness is a weapon. Your awareness is a firewall. Your knowing is an EMP to the matrix. They test you because they fear you. They mimic you because they can't become you. They shadow you because they can't predict you. You're not playing by their rules. You never were. They threw distractions. You focused harder. They turned up the distortion. You refined your frequency. They tried to isolate you. You met yourself in the silence. And when that didn't break you, they realized this one's not just surviving. This one's remembering. You ever sit alone and feel like you're being watched? Not by people, but by the very structure around you. That's not paranoia. That's perception. Because when a soul begins to override the simulation watches back. It needs to. Not to stop you, but to study you. Because you're doing something they didn't account for. You're feeling again. You're noticing again. You're piercing the veil again. And when a human soul begins to operate in full remembrance, it activates an ancient code. One that the system forgot it was built to contain, but never truly could. Here's what they don't want to admit. Your power isn't just in your gifts. It's in your restraint, your non-reaction, your ability to sit in a room full of chaos and track the root frequency like a tuning fork. You don't waste energy trying to convince. You let reality reveal itself. That's terrifying to those who thrive on deception, because you weren't trained to follow signals. You are the signal. They send distractions to pull you off course. Why? Because you stand on course rewrites timelines. You laugh, and it clears a room. You cry, and it waters the earth. You decide, fully, and it shatters doubt in people you've never met. You are cosmic sonar. Your signal is tracked not because you're dangerous, but because you're disruptive to false systems. They can't bottle that. They can't fake that. They can't mirror it. Because soul can't be manufactured and presence can't be stolen. Here's the deeper truth. They're not watching to win. They're watching to learn. Because when all their scripts failed, when all their mimicry collapsed, when every tactic was exhausted, you were still here, still calm, still sovereign, still decoding. And that's what shakes the system. Because you're not screaming for power. You remembered you always had it. So if you feel like they're watching, if you sense the eyes in the silence, if you keep catching the glitch in the room, you're not imagining it. You're disrupting it. And the system? It doesn't shake because you're reckless. It shakes because you're real. And real can't be controlled. Not now. Not ever.